Right, guys, so one of the questions I've asked earlier this week is about contingencies. So what I wanted to do was actually do a quick video and show you guys some property knowledge and in my experience, and hopefully it'll help some people that are just starting out in properties, or maybe be a reminder for people that have a bit more experience. Certainly not saying that I'm an expert in any of this, but it's something that I think sharing would add value to people and help them give a bit of food for thoughts. So when it comes to property investments, and obviously as investors, we need to stack deals, and that's one of the main process to understand. Spreadsheet is king. I think everyone's got their own version of a spreadsheet with what they use in order to stack deals. But the question was, like, how often do you guys put in contingencies? And if you do, what are the percentages, or how do you come about doing contingencies? So just to give you guys a bit of a breakdown on how I do it personally, maybe a help, and there's no set ways to do that. But the importance of having contingencies is to basically de-risk your investments. And with any investments, as I said in previous videos, there's inherent risk. Our jobs as property investors and developers is to make sure that our risk is as minimized as possible. We still take them on because that's just the name of the game, but we want to do so with less risk as possible. So by having contingencies in the numbers built into things such as the purchase, and when I say purchase, it doesn't just mean the purchase price. Now, a lot of people might, in the beginning, just put the purchase price as the fixed price and kind of forget about all the other associated costs surrounds it. So we might pick up the obvious ones like a broker fee or legal fees. Other things that tend to slip between the cracks are things like surveyor fees, and also professional fees. So if you need reports and stuff like that, that's an extra. Stamp duty sometimes gets missed off. I have to admit, personally, when I first started out, I forgot all about stamp duty, and it kind of got lost in the sauce. If that makes sense. So having contingencies like that would change your numbers, obviously, and potentially make a deal that looks super duper less super duper, if that is a phrase that makes sense again. So there's that. Contingencies, secondly, for any sort of building works, and usually what I do for renovations, back to bricks, it's all very much not keeping anything. So that's very important, and depending on who you ask, quotes can vary massively depending on whether they are a contractor that quotes professionally, uses QS, uses architects to do plans, drawings with building controls in mind and all that jazz. The number could be a lot higher than if you used someone that basically does a GIFA rate or a meterage rate, finger in the air kind of example. So by all means, don't always go for the cheapest builders, is what my experience is. Try to understand how they've come up with the quote, or ask them, basically. Ask them, where is the quote based from, and what is and isn't included, what is an estimate, what is a quote. So these two things, again, different terms, have different meanings. Estimates are things that aren't fixed, so literally is an estimate. So if someone comes out and quotes 20 grand for refurbishments, it's not 20 grand, so don't take that and put it in your numbers and think that that's it, right? If they're 20 grand, it could go up. Nowadays, quite rarely does it go down, so it goes up, frankly speaking. If it's a quote, that's more of a fixed price. So if someone actually comes out and gives you a quote for a job, maybe they've seen all they need to see and there isn't any other extras, then you can take that as it is. But that still doesn't cover you for any extras. And extras are things that are discovered during the renovation process. So basically, that is what a contingency will cover. So for me, what level of coverage is good for you depends on your level of risk, the risk profile. Generally speaking, the quickest and easiest way that I've found in putting contingencies is to apply a percentage of what your expected costs are. So if a project, I'm expecting it to cost, let's say 100 grand for renovation, I would tend to put 10% contingency. So that's 10k above. again, doesn't go below, it goes above. So 10k above the 100, so it's 110 in essence. So you're going to have to look at that number and understand whether it is a real, as in whether it is realistic, not real, realistic of a contingency. Have you accounted for most stuff? If you know that you're missing some stuff, then be prepared to increase the contingency to 15, maybe even 20%. And sometimes if I cheat, I would actually put a contingency of 20% and still see if the numbers work. If it works, then happy days, you've got some bit of breathing space in between the estimates and the actual spending at the end once you've done with the project. And you never know how much a project costs to the penny until the day it's done and signed off and you've put in your spreadsheet that is done and there's no more spending on it. So yeah, so that's hopefully this has been a useful video for you guys, just a bit of food for thought, as I say, on contingencies and how I do it, and how most people do it actually. In my experience, you might have your own system, your own way. So if you do and it's different from this, let me know, and let me know what kind of contingencies, how you put it in, and also if there's certain things that you also see people missing all the time from their numbers, to have a contingency for that as well. I know I'm one of those that miss stuff all the time, so I would learn something from you guys as well. So hopefully this has been a useful video, got a bit of value from it, and if you do like it, please share, follow me if you want more information, and again, reach out to me if you want to chat, or if you've got any suggestions on videos and topics. So I hope you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.